Hey everybody, it's Cornflower. I'm sorry that things have been really quiet on my channel for the last 3 weeks. I've had a lot of things happen in both my personal life and my work life. So, that's kind of why things went really quiet for a while. Things have calmed down now, so I'm gonna get back on track with everything. But long story short, there was a very recent death in my family, and that's just like the latest of many things that's happened over the last month. So I've just been very busy handling myself on top of other things. So I'm sorry, I'm just giving excuses right now, but I promised you guys a Halloween video, and by golly, I'm gonna give you one, even if it's on Halloween day. Merry Wiener, by the way. It is Halloween today. This is probably going to be a 2-video series just because my stories are very they're not long, but there are many of them. So I'm going to jump right into it. I have recorded this audio about 3 times now because I just can't seem to get it to where I like it. So I'm going to make it all as short as I possibly can, but it's still going to be 2 videos just because it's just so long. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to give you a little history on myself. It's going to make you think that I'm absolutely crazy, but I'm willing to take that risk. Here we go. I am very sensitive to spirits. I'm very sensitive to what you would call ghosts. If they are present and they want to make themselves known, then I usually am one of the first people to know that there is something there, be it, malevolent or, just angry or not. So that's one thing about me that most people don't know, because it's still, like I said, it makes everybody think that I'm crazy. Woohoo! I hope you guys don't think I'm crazy. I only say that because this plays into the stories that I tell today most of the time, especially these first few that I'm going to tell in this video are going to be funnier stories, and then in my next video they're going to be more scary stories. So the first story I'm going to tell you about is from my good old college days. I had this I knew this guy that claimed himself to be a paranormal investigator. He had equipment. He went to quote unquote haunted houses, and did paranormal investigatory stuff. And he was very proud of that fact. I kind of roll my eyes at stuff like that because most of the time paranormal investigators just go into haunted places just to antagonize the spirits so they can get good footage or whatever for a scare. I just think that's dumb. But we went for Halloween a few years ago. My school would host like a big event where a professor would tell ghost stories, and the paranormal investigator guy was there, and we met up afterwards, my group of friends and him, and he was talking about how he was gonna go to this nearby abandoned house and see if there was anything there. And I was like, oh, that's cool, can I come too? Just because it was Halloween, I like to get spooked, so I thought that'd be a cool thing to do, whether it be something there or not. And he looks at me and he goes, this kind of thing is actually just for us professionals. You really need to let the big kids handle it. Like, I really don't think you should go because normal people can't handle it. And I looked at him and I was like, excuse me? I am sensitive to spirits. I can actually help you. Like, I know if there's one there or not. I was kind of talking myself up just because I was mad at him. But he goes, what? And I was like, yeah, I know where there's spirits at. And he goes, are you psychic? And I was like, yeah, I am psychic. I'd like to point out I am not psychic. I only said that because I was mad at him and because I wanted to make a point. I am not psychic. I don't want anybody spreading that around that I think that I'm psychic. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, you too? Boy, shut up. Boy, you are not psychic. Shut up. I'm not psychic. You're not psychic. Shut up. And that was that story. That boy was irritating. My next story goes to another time where I told one of my old friends that I was sensitive to spirits, and I told her about it. She was like, oh my God, we have to go to this place. Like, what place? And it's an old church that she had gone to. She was an anthropology major. She went to that church, and behind that church was a cemetery, and her class took a trip there while they were excavating the graves. at one point. They were just moving them. It wasn't like they were looking for something. They were just moving them over because I guess they were expanding the church. But she was like, oh, while we were there, it was this big hullabaloo. All the spirits were so angry, and I really think you should go there and see if you could talk to them and see if they're, you know, whatever. And I was like, I can't do that. I can't talk to them. You know, if we get there, I'll feel if they're there or not, but I won't be able to like communicate or whatever. And she was like, no, it'll be so cool. It'll be so cool. And she hyped it up to make it sound like I was like, oh, super, you know, into the spirit realm, which I'm not. And she told one of our other friends about it. So the three of us went, and we got to the cemetery, and I walked back there, and they were both like standing off in the distance, and they were really hoping that I was about to be like, oh my God, I'm having a vision. But I stood there in the middle of the cemetery, and I looked around, and I looked at them, and I was like, there's nobody here. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, there's nobody here. Or at least if there are, they don't want me to know about it. And she was like, but they were so mad the last time I was here. Where are they? And you were here like 2 years ago. And their graves were being disturbed. Like, that's why they were mad. They're fine now. They're resettled. They don't care that I'm here. They don't care that you're here. Sorry. And then we went out for ice cream. We went to school. That was that story. I'm going to shove straight on into the next one. This old house that we used to live in was over 100 years old. And we had a gentleman ghost who lived there. It used to be a doctor's office, but nobody really died of anything particularly gruesome that we know of. But there was this old gentleman that lived there. He would wander the house. He would smoke these cherry flavored cigars that my mom recognized because my grandfather used to smoke them, which my grandfather has passed. That was a long, long time ago. So it's not like it was just lingering from when my grandfather smoked there. Mom would be like, I smell him smoking a cigarette in our living room every Thursday at like 4 o'clock or whatever. And it, you know, she was right. Like, and there was no reason for that smell to be there. And like I said, he'd wander the house. We'd hear him walking around. And there was also in that house, these are just the two spirits out of probably many that we encountered, but these are my two favorites. There's the old man, and then there's the cat. There was a ghost cat that would play with our real cats. And I knew it was a cat because if you own a cat, you know how like when you go to bed at night, your cat will like push your door open and come and jump on your bed, and you feel like the poof of their paws hitting your blankets. It would do that. It would jump on our beds, and you know, it would just go to sleep or whatever ghost cats do. But we didn't tell my sister-in-law that the ghost cat was there when she moved in. So she moved in. She was in bed one night and her door creaked open a little bit. And she was like, what? And then she felt the boop on the end of her bed and something walking across it. And there was nothing there. Like, she thought it was one of our real cats. No, it was nothing. And she just freaked out. Oh my gosh. And she ran down the stairs and she was like, there's something in my room. There's something in my room. And we were like, what happened? What happened? And she told us, and we were like, oh, that's the ghost cat. She's like, ghost cat? You mean there's a ghost cat in this house? We were like, yeah. And we told her about the old man ghost too, who we named George, by the way, because we didn't know his real name. And she's like, you didn't tell me this house was haunted. Oh yeah. By the way, this house is haunted, sorry. Those are my funnier stories for this video. I'm gonna get into my more spooky ones the next video. I'm sorry if I see like I'm rushing. I am rushing a little bit because, like I said, this is my third time recording this audio. So the last couple of times they were really, really long. So I'm trying to cut that down. And I have shaved off about 3 minutes now. So I'm gonna keep with that. I'm gonna say goodbye for now because I'm getting ready to upload the second video like right after this, so you can just jump on over there, and I will see you guys soon.